G'day, I'd just like to introduce you to the Biodynamics Tasmania Foundations Education course that will be run for the first time from winter 2023, and we're really excited about being able to kind of bring that to whoever's interested. This course there'll be 4 seasonal workshops, winter, spring, summer and autumn. And there'll be weekend workshops requiring people to be there face to face, and that'll be characterised by lots of practical biodynamics activities such as making the compost, doing 500 stirs and so forth. Between times though, we also have a lot of the content being delivered online and via readings. And what I mean by that is we're actually video recording the presentation, the key topic presentations, and these will be in lecture form with PowerPoint and so forth. And the expectation is that people review those, make notes, do some reflections on those, and before each workshop there will be some set ones to review. And then bring your experiences, reflections, questions, ideas, objections, whatever. Bring those with you to the workshops, and then the workshops will be much more alive. They'll be run more like a group process then, where we're sharing ideas together. Our first one will be coming up in the middle of July this year, and our first face-to-face workshop, and that'll be run at the Huon Valley. And the material will be released about a month before that, and the expectation is for people to get familiar with that, work through that, make your notes and so forth. Now the other thing that is really central to this course is that we want every participant to be working on a personal project in terms of landscape, how they're going, where they anticipate that they may be applying some of the biodynamic practices. Now that could be, for most people I imagine, it will be on your own property, in your own home, whether that be a large farm, a small farm, or even your own garden, your backyard. And what we want to do with that is people to come, so prior to coming to the first workshop you need to get your hands on a map of your property. We're really interested in things like the slope of the property. Great, if you can get gradient lines on there, even better. Where are your water sources? Where's your prevailing wind direction? Have all of that kind of written up and or drawn up as a map. And things like fire risk directions. So one of our first topics in the course is to blend some of the ideas from permaculture and syntropic agriculture and so forth with biodynamics. Definitely here in Tasmania there are different ecosystems and different challenges that different properties have, and therefore we want to try to get as much as we can get some insight into what people are kind of working with more directly. The other thing that's really a key characteristic of the course is that, as I mentioned, we're not under any illusions that the key learning piece of the course is going to be in the face-to-face workshops. It's going to be important, absolutely, but learning will happen outside of that. And so, people doing personal reflections, we provide a journal type structure that where you kind of take notes and reflect on some of the key topics that we might be covering, like, for example, vortical stirring. What does that mean? And when you have a go at it, you kind of might kind of write down some of your reflections. What did that bring up for you? Was it kind of very mechanical? Did you kind of have a more meditative experience? Was there, were you able to notice any differences in the texture or the structure of the water as the stir goes on? That sort of thing. Alongside that, we recognise that biodynamics isn't just about what you do with the land or the atmosphere. It's not just about the focus on the plants and soil. It's very much about that correspondence between your internal world, so your own consciousness kind of process, and how that may map against some of the practices we're doing, and there may be some correspondences that people experience there. And so that's really critical too. It's a personal process. It's personal projects. It's practicing key skills. It's kind of getting material that's aimed to stimulate your thinking and eventually dialogue about those in the group process. And there'll be opportunities in between the sessions too, where there's an expectation that people will be sharing notes and having dialogue. So it covers a whole bunch of those kind of dimensions, and our hope is that people will engage in that and enjoy that and feel inspired to stay in contact, because I guess our ultimate aim with this is to build community. Our local small groups getting together and maybe doing some 500, 501 stirs, helping each other spray out these preparations, building compost, all those sorts of things that are that are somewhat labour intensive, but also are opportunities for great coming together and building that community. So we're ambitious in terms of the breadth of different aims that we have here, but we're pretty confident that we'll certainly start to nurture some of that. So if you're interested, give us a yell. And